Hannah and welcome back to another video. You guys, today is going to be a very cozy reading vlog. I'm really excited to kind of share with you guys a couple books that I'm reading right now and hopefully can get through during this reading challenge. There are two books in the mix that are very different from one another, which I think is going to pair really well in tandem reads. And I'm just going to go ahead and talk through both of these books that we're going to be reading for this vlog today. So the first book that I'm reading right now is The Last Word by Taylor Adams. Taylor Adams is an esteemed thriller novelist. He has a couple of really good books out there. I believe his novel No Exit is actually a Hulu movie or Hulu series. Comment down below if you've read No Exit. I think that's one of the books that I want to read next in terms of thrillers on my TBR list. But anyways, The Last Word, I have made some headway into this book. If you can see, I'm a little over halfway. I'm on page 200. Yeah, I'm on page 200 out of like 340. So I really think this is going to be a good book to get through for this vlog. It is a definite page turner. I've only picked this up maybe like a day or two ago. I got it from the library, which is why it's a little bit shiny. The Last Word is a classic cat and mouse chase type of story. Not read too many of those. I've read quite a few mysteries that are like whodunits, but never really a cat and mouse chase. And man, is this one kind of creepy. This is not a book you really want to read at night before you go to bed. We are following a main character, Emma, and Emma is living alone at this beach house, ocean house with her dog. So she and her dog are living there. Emma ends up reading this horror novel and giving it a 1-star review, and after she leaves her review, the author basically just comes at her with revenge and stalks her down. It gets very intense very quickly. We are thrown into the plot like right at the beginning of the book. It is very gripping. This is a total page turner for sure. I think this is going to be a very high rating just considering that it is just so fast moving, and it's a very compelling thriller, which is hard with thrillers, I feel like, because typically thrillers can be hit or miss in my opinion. It's either way too fast paced, there's way too many twists and turns. This one, the pacing feels just about right. I mean, it doesn't really span over a bunch of years. It's really spanning through a couple days, but yeah, don't let that deter you from picking up this book. It is really, really good so far. So I'm going to be reading this in tandem with another book that is on my Kindle. The second book on this reading vlog that we're going to get through is Finlay Donovan is Killing It. This is a very lighthearted and charming humor style of novel. If you've read Dial A for Aunties, it is also very similar to that. So Finlay Donovan is Killing It. It's basically told from the perspective of Finlay Donovan. She is a mystery murder novelist, and she is getting breakfast lunch with her agent one day, and they're talking about her upcoming book, and she ends up having this conversation with her agent, and someone else at this restaurant mistakes her for being a hitman and ends up contracting Finlay Donovan to kill her husband. So it gets very awkward very quickly. Finlay Donovan's thrown into a very sticky situation, to say the least, and we're kind of just following her spiral and downfall of the next bad decision from there. This story unravels very quickly as Finlay Donovan is just sucked into very unexpected drama in her life. She's a single mom, she has a lot going on, and then to add all of it on top of that, she is now basically contracted to kill somebody. So yeah, this is very funny. It is lighthearted, like I said. The writing is really interesting. I don't think I'm going to give this a very high rating. It's not a book where I'm super invested in the characters at this point. I'm a little over like 40% of the way through, so I've been kind of reading The Last Word during the day, and then in the evening I switch over to Finlay Donovan is Killing It, just because this one's a little bit harder to read through during the nighttime just because it's so creepy. And I think Finlay Donovan is just so cute and lighthearted and kind of whimsical, so I think it bodes well for like a nighttime read. Plus, it's really great to read on my Kindle. I believe it's part of Kindle Unlimited, so definitely check that out if you have a Kindle. And yeah, also follow me on Goodreads, you guys. I'm always posting my reviews on there. I love interacting with you all, kind of seeing what else everybody else is reading. So yeah, definitely connect with me on Goodreads. I'll put that in the comments down below. So yeah, those are the two books I'm hoping to get through for this vlog, and without further ado, let's get reading. Last Word pretty exclusively over the last day or so, and it really sucked me in. We are now at the point in the story where the stakes are really high, the drama is really high. I can't really seem to like put this down just because it is so good. I love the pacing of this book. It's so fast, and I'm on page 270 out of like 340. So I'll probably just sit here and finish the rest of this book today and then move on to Finlay Donovan's Killing It. But I will say that this is probably one of my favorite thrillers that I've read in a really long time. I am really interested to see like how this ends up. It is a cat and mouse chase kind of storyline, so it's something a little bit different than what I would typically read. I normally read more of like mystery thrillers or whodunit kind of thrillers, and this is my first take at a book that is like a cat and mouse type of chase. Yeah, like I said, the pacing is so fast. I completely flew through this book. I need closure on like what happens. There's like so much adrenaline that's like coursing through me as I've been reading through this book, and I really just need closure on like what happens at the end. And I think that's what makes this thriller so good. It's like once you pick it up, you like can't stop, which is kind of true with most thrillers, but I would say with this one, the stakes seem so much higher just because it's that like cat mouse type of chase. I'm gonna go ahead and finish reading this book, and then I will give you guys my like total thoughts and reviews like at the end. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading and finishing The Last Word by Taylor Adams. What? No. Oh my god, no. Well guys, I have officially finished The Last Word by Taylor Adams, and I don't know what to think about it. I do know that I loved it. I really enjoyed this thriller. It's probably one of the best thrillers I've read in a while. There's just a lot that has happened that I need to process, and I need to sit in it. I need to marinate with this book for a little bit before I give you my final thoughts and reviews. I'll just say that I absolutely loved it. I tried to guess the plot twist at the end. I didn't guess it. I always try to do that with every single thriller that I read and mystery, just to like keep it interesting. But yeah, I definitely didn't guess any of the plot twists, which is great. Kept me on my toes for sure, which I really appreciate in a thriller. So yeah, really enjoyed this book. It had lots of adrenaline. It had lots of heart-pounding moments in it. Definitely gives you a little bit of anxiety as you're reading through it, which is, you know, great for a thriller. We definitely want to feel that aspect of it as we're reading through a good thriller. So yeah, I'm gonna let it sit with me for a little bit, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts on this book at the very end of this vlog. So yeah, I'm kind of ready to move on to something a little bit more lighthearted, which brings us to the second book of today's reading vlog, which is Finlay Donovan is Killing It. I didn't really pick this book up just because I totally binged The Last Word the last couple of days. There's so much like awkward moments and dark humor woven throughout the story that make it absolutely hysterical to me. So I'm really very much looking forward to reading this book. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it at the end. I'm not very like invested in the characters at this point, but it's a good read. It's a nice read. It's something you can kind of just like get through. You don't really have to think too hard about it as you're reading through it. So I really appreciate that. Sometimes you need to throw those types of books into some of the other genres that you're reading. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading and then kind of share my thoughts with you guys along the way. actually been a couple of days since I have finished Finlay Donovan is Killing It. I really enjoyed this read, however, it wasn't something that I feel like was one of my favorite books that I read. It was very whimsical. The storyline overall was actually very creative, which I really appreciated. I would say that what kept this from getting a higher rating for me is the fact that this felt a little bit predictable at times. It almost felt like a young adult book at times as well, just due to some of the word choices and the language that's used throughout. I really enjoyed the dark humor. I really enjoyed some of the side characters that are in this book. The side characters, honestly, I think I enjoyed the side characters more than the main character, Finlay Donovan, actually, so take that for what you will. Overall, I ended up giving this book a 3-star rating just due to the fact that I didn't really feel super connected to any of the characters. There were times when, like I said, I could predict a couple of the plot twists that were thrown in there, so that's kind of why I ended up giving it a total of 3 stars. Still a great book, still would definitely recommend. It will give you some laughs along the way if you end up picking this up. So yeah, I definitely really enjoyed Finlay Donovan is Killing It. To wrap up this video, let's talk back on our first book that we read for this reading vlog, which was Last Word by Taylor Adams. I actually rented that from the library. I don't have it anymore. I had to end up returning it. I really sat on that book for a while, kind of thinking through what rating I wanted to give The Last Word, and I ended up giving it a total of 5 stars. It was just basically due to the fact that I could not compare this book to any other books that I have read. It gave me a ton of anxiety actually as I was reading through it, which I think is probably why I thought about it so much. Like after the fact, I have recommended it to other people like in my friend group, so I definitely would say that The Last Word is worthy of a 5-star rating in my opinion. It was a really good read, fantastic. It was kind of fun to kind of switch between the 2 books for this cozy reading vlog of Finlay Donovan's Killing It and The Last Word, just because they play off each other in just very different ways. So overall, a very successful reading vlog, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you haven't yet, please comment, like, and subscribe. All of the YouTube things that you guys know how to do, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye!